we've had one of these days, right? There's nothing going on. Seriously. There was one trade in path long this morning. And since then, I've just basically been staring into space. I bought some SRAD on this. By the way, I'm just point out one more time. Every time you think I'm talking cynical or being jaded about something, the stock was doing fine, right? And it's been doing fine for quite some time. When did it stop doing fine? Upgrades. Upgrade, 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 crash. Not a coincidence. So they just got the seller out of the way. I just saw a 300,000 share block go off at 27. So they just got that guy out of the way. I bought this dip right here. But man, trading this stock on a boring day, you're going to get what you pay for. Probably sit around for the next 3 or 4 hours and hopefully you get 50 cents out of it. That's usually when it gets smashed this much, it has a nice rebound. But we're at that critical support. That's also kind of why I'm liking it here. And what I'd really like to see is a couple of downgrades, because that'll get the stock going again, because, just another moment in the history of learning about the market. Never buy upgrades. Upgrades are the way that analysts who get paid, they're in a stock, let's say their hedge fund buddy who's been in the stock at 22 and 25 and 27, now it got to 32.50, which is a pretty nice spot to sell, but you don't want to unload and hammer the stock completely, right? So you upgrade it so he can sell into strength created by the upgrade. Inevitably, they're not going to sell them all out at one price. And now the stock has come back to retest the algorithmic price of that last sell-off. And here we are. There was the faux-show-bro. And hopefully this is where it stabilizes. And again, this is more of a long-term play for me, but I've been waiting to buy some more. Today's that day. So my plan is to buy, I bought. And if it rallies nicely, I sell some and I hold the rest in my swing trading account. But this is the worst day of the year by far. Only 2 winning trades. And there's really nothing else going on. Actually was able to short the Qs. We got down to the level where we thought it would go. And there's been nothing else to do since. So you got the fake out, shake out. And now you're already breaking back out. But I just want to show you the Q trade. Here's the 5-day VWAP. Generally, stocks live between 1 and 5 days worth of VWAP. So when you have a 5-day acting as support, usually is support. And not only is that support, and I know you might get a chuckle out of this, but not only is that support, but those are new generational lows right there. You may never see the Qs pull back lower than that price ever again. Because every pullback, right, however shallow and boring it is, gives birth to a new bull market that usually lasts 10 times the amount of the pullback. So now we've actually managed to pull back over the last 22 hours about 5 points. So that must mean we're about to lift off for at least 20 to 25 points straight up as soon as we turn and break out. Because every time we pause, every pullback, every dip, no matter how long it is, none of it lasts. We never go down. And we'll continue to rally. And I still think we're going, at least 10% higher before the next big move to the downside. And again, if we do get a move to the downside, it's very small. Because even if we do get hammered, right? And hammering, I don't know what your definition of hammer. Whoa! SRAD. God damn it. Son of a bitch. They won't even let me buy more now. You bastard. Come on now. faux-show-bro me. I'll faux-show-bro you. Man, I just scared the SRAD market makers. I just sent an order for 3,000 shares. They all freaked out. Wow, look at me. All right, anyway, that was a nice flurry of buying. There's something going on with SRAD. It's usually not this active. So it looks like they had a seller to get out of the way, part of the hedge fund manipulation of the upgrades. And next time you see a stock rallying, then get upgraded, don't forget, this is the game they play. Wow. All right. Well, at 27 and a quarter actually might lighten up because I got plenty of shares now. So 27.24 was the earlier target. Just looking to play the scalp. Oh, now it's 27.21, 24. If we get through the VWAP, there's the double top, and then we could get that half point. That's kind of why I'm in this trade right now. Just looking to scalp for the half. Bought under the 27, looking for the 27.50 kind of reversion trade. But the hell was I just talking about? Oh, something about this day being boring, right? Yeah, kind of boring. But when it's boring, you don't do much. And here's another ironic story. Oh, right, we were talking about upgrades. Yeah, upgrades. Don't buy into upgrades. Trust me. It's been 30 years. The analysts are not your friends. All right, they're not trying to help you. All right, they all have dubious or nefarious plans. It's not too often the guy comes out of the, hey, you know what? I just did 3 months of research. Let me go tell everybody about this before I get involved. Come on. He's going to get involved. He's going to get all his friends involved. Then he's going to get his hedge fund involved. He's going to front run the order. He's going to tell some other friends. They're going to tell their friends. Then they do the upgrade. Right? So even in that, or it's the other way around where the stock's already rallied. He's got a buddy who says, "Hey man, I got to get out of 600,000 shares of this stock. You think you can upgrade?" Well, I don't even know anything about this company. Well, it doesn't really matter. Just say it's going to 30. It's going to 30% in the next couple of days. Okay, how much? Okay. Oh, yeah, cool. All right, nice. All right, nice. All right, I'll see you at Stone Street. Great. So, and if you start to notice, right, and again, I was a market maker, and this is back in the day when I was, when you had level 2 for the first time, you could see the blatant manipulation, right? So I remember there was a day where BlackBerry, otherwise known as Research in Motion, dating myself right there. Research in Motion, right? That one. They upgraded the stock. It was $28. The guy put a $40 recommendation on it, right? Classic, 40% upgrade, blah, blah, blah. Stock's going to go to the moon. You'd be crazy not to own it, right? So all day, right, back in the day when market making became new and exciting for us, we saw they weren't hiding behind ECNs. These didn't exist. There was 2 of them. You had Instinet. That's about it, pretty much. Instinet. Now you got all these ECNs, right? ARCA, NASDAQ, BATS, MX, EDGX, all these guys. The market makers are hiding their orders behind these guys, right? But back in the day, you could see the market maker. You follow me? So let's see if you guys know what I'm talking about. All right, let's put this question out there to the room. You ready? Hang on. See, I'm distracted by my position. I got 274,000 shares of SRAD now. Let's go. All I need is a quarter now. Let's go. Here you go. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Push it. All I need is a quarter. Just break the VWAP, you bastard. Trying to faux show bro me. I'll faux show bro you. Come on. I don't got time. I don't got time to wait. Come on. Print me at 25. You could have some of your stock back. Manipulate me. I'll manipulate you, sucker. Come on, you got to get back. Get over the VWAP already. Come on now. It's wasting our time here. Just chopping around bullshit. You know you want to break VWAP. You know you want to tack on that extra half for Kenny. Yeah, you do. Just give me my 50 cent and I will sell you some. Come on now. Come on now. By the way, the volume, 2.4 million by 11 o'clock on this stock. Something's going on. It ain't all me, obviously. 25, 3 tons of them, you son of a bitch. Huh? Faux show, bro. Me. I invented the faux show, bro. That's right. In your face. Just sold 4,000 shares. Let's go. Give me the extra quarter now. Come on. Giddy up. Giddy up over VWAP now. Giddy up over VWAP. Let's go. Come on, none of this quarter bullshit. What is this Olay bullshit, Dorn? I'm too old to be jumping into a locker. Still, that movie holds up. I don't care what you say. Major League? Come on, Dorn. Come on, this SRAD's a piece of shit. Breaking VWAP and not ripping. Faux show, bro, you. Damn it. Oh, I was hoping for a freaking rip right there. Firing Furfen Flargen. What do we got? We waited this long. All right, well, we got the faux. We got the show. Now, hopefully, we get a bro. I mean, I sold half my position already because I'm in under 27. I hope you guys bought on that little fugazi bullshit move under there. See, when they faux show bro it right under the support and then it comes back, it's classic. The only thing better would be if there was like a multiple time frame under there. But, you know, when it does it near a whole number, I'm interested. But I'm not really excited about how it's not hanging in there a little better. Shit, I was counting my chickens. See? Sorry. I didn't mean to do that. That's why I sell. See, now I normally put the stop at the low of the day, but I don't really feel like doing that. This is mildly disappointing. So anyway, yeah, the story about the market makers, right? So I'm watching them. You know, this was the first time you were able to see market making. It was just a myth. We didn't know what, we always heard market makers. That's it. Now we finally got to see it live. And when I first started trading, it was just about reading the tape. Market makers, finding who the bidder was, the axe, as we called them. Goldman Sachs goes high bid, Goldman Sachs is looking to buy. Stock starts to move, you notice Goldman Sachs goes high bid again, Goldman Sachs is looking to buy. He's got your back. So you could buy the offer and knowing that Goldman Sachs probably goes high bid, and next thing you know, you're on at least a flat trade with some momentum, right? So they would show themselves, and they were before the blatant manipulation of the game that we play today with all these ECNs and high frequency trading and the citadels and them seeing your orders a millisecond before you even place them. It's all manipulation. The most blatant form of manipulation was the upgrade and downgrade. Right. So for instance, fuck you. For instance, the upgrade, right? As we just explained, they usually upgrade at highs, downgrade at lows, right? But there's a nefarious thing going on there too, right? You got to understand. But as blatant, it doesn't get more blatant as the upgrade when I finally got to see the market makers. So Morgan Stanley at the time put a buy recommendation on Research in Motion. And really it was $28. He put a $40 target on it, right? And again, upgrades and downgrades, a bunch of bullshit also because they just throw numbers out there. What time frame? We're upgrading it with a target of 40. When? Who knows? Maybe it goes to 40, maybe it doesn't. We're just throwing it out there. Oh, cool. Glad you went to school for that. So here's the question of the day. If Morgan Stanley is recommending a $28 stock that they have now published, they believe is going to 40, where do you think you should expect to see Morgan Stanley on the box, as we call it, the market maker box? Morgan Stanley just said, we want to buy this stock. $28. It's at $28. We think it's going to 40. Where do you think Morgan Stanley should be on the box? The bid side or the offer side? I'll wait. You got one person answering. It's impressive. We got one. Can I get two? Morgan Stanley saying they think the stock's going from 28 to 40. Do you think they're on the bid looking to buy when the stock's at 28 or on the offer? It's an easy question. I'm not trying to fool you, right? I'm not trying to fool you. The answer is they should be on the bid. They're looking to buy. They just told the public, we love this stock at 28. We think it's going to 40. They should be on the bidding. Bid it. They should be high bid every time the stock moves. I want to see Morgan Stanley on the bid. But where were these fucktards all day from 9:30 to 4 o'clock? Where were they? They were on the offer, selling into the bullshit strength that they created by putting a 40% upside price target on the stock. So we all had our Bloomberg terminals at the time because we were fancy, and we could directly call the specific analyst at Morgan Stanley and got him on the phone. And I said before, it was like Vince Vaughn, not Vince Vaughn, hey, who that guy who was in the Pitch Perfect and Vin Diesel, the Vin Diesel moment. I put the phone down. I was like, I'm going to get the Morgan Stanley guy on the phone, and I'm going to ask him, why is he on the offer all day, selling into the strength of the upgrade that he upgraded? And I'll tell you right now what he's going to say. He's going to say that he's got a client that is taking advantage of this strength to lighten up on his position. Watch. Hey, how are you? Kenny Glick over at Patterson Travis. Yeah, how you doing? Just a quick question. We noticed you put an upgrade on the Research in Motion today, and yeah, we're pretty long and we're pretty excited about your call. We've been reading your report to all the traders here at our firm. We're curious. We see you on the offer all day, selling into the strength, and we're seeing you putting out blocks on Instanet, tens of thousands of shares. Wouldn't you be buying the stock considering you put a price target of 40 on a $28 stock? Wait for it. You have a client. Wait, hang on a second. Sir, we have a client that, not that it's any of your business, I think you said. We're taking clients, they're taking an opportunity here to lighten up on their position. Some of our clients are in different positions than others, even though we are recommending this long term. We have a few clients today that are unwinding some of their position. Is that right? Didn't you just actually gap it? Didn't you actually put the buy recommendation on the stock last night so you could do the selling this morning? Hello? 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 And every time I would catch one of those, we'd call the market makers, and it would be the same story every time. Yeah, right. You got a client taking advantage of the move. Right, right, right. That's the whole play. That's the whole play. So when you're seeing upgrades and downgrades or Barron article, Barron's is the worst. They're just behind the curve because, they're a magazine. They're not in the moment. But the upgrade and downgrades, oh, are you kidding me? The easiest form of manipulation there is. And as a trader, what you want to take away from that is you can profit off that notion. So when you see that stock that's already been getting slammed and getting slammed and getting slammed, finally gets downgraded with another 20% downside, and then you see that stock showing some strength, that is an aha moment. Just like AMD when Goldman Sachs downgraded it at $4, or research or Carvana. I forgot the analyst guy who said you should still be selling it at $5. That was phenomenal. You had a whole crew of people still telling you to short Carvana under 10. Yeah, it's down 97%. Yeah, but push it. Keep pushing it. And so forth and so on. And, again, a couple of weeks ago when I said, hey, this SRAD, as much as I think it's going to 50 over the next 3 years, 1750 got us 20, 20 got us 2050, 25, 20, 30. We got almost to 3250. And I was like, you know what? You don't got to wait to the 3250. The stock just got upgraded twice. You might want to take something off the table. And there you go. And now we'll see what's up. It breaks down here. We might be looking right back to that 25 zone where, I really didn't want to see it test in that spot. I'm unhappy already. I was hoping to see it hold 2750 today, a little bit firm, but somebody wants out. And you got some big volume spikes, and that was still, I was hoping that was the last guy out at 27, and it's still not holding that whole bid. But that's why I took my quick 30 cents on half of it, because this stock is stinky suddenly. Not a coincidence. And DraftKings too, you're right. Yeah. Speaking of that, you guys bet against the Jets, right? Thank you. Thank you. I don't even watch the games anymore, right? What's the point? I heard they fumbled on the goal line. I heard Aaron Glenn said it's not the same old Jets. He's insulted when you say that. Yeah, okay, it's not the same old Jets when you win one game. Win one game, you're not the same old Jets. You can't even beat Miami. And by the way, they're not beating anybody this year, right? That was their one chance to win one game. So now they're going to lose 7 or 8 more. They got Miami and New England. I think they might win 2 games this year. Those would be the 2 games. There's a chance they could beat Dallas, but Dallas is still pissed when the Jets had 4 wins, and one of the wins was Dallas back in like 5 or 6 years ago. Dallas is going to win. Anyway, like I said, there's zero going on today. Absolutely zero. I mean, there's been some spots, path. And right, some more ironic trading, right? So path, I was pleasantly surprised with an upside move this morning. I got involved at 1433, sold at 1555 and 1597. It was a pretty good trade. And then I waited for the open, and I didn't want to short it, even though it's set up as a short. And I just waited for a reason to buy, and it got to 1433. I missed it. it actually would have been a pretty good trade, but then it just rolled over and this stock continues to suck. Even some good news with AI. And here's the ironic nature of this trade. Why didn't I put the short on? I didn't feel like it. But my algorithm did twice and got paid. Because the algo, what we have set up to do is any stock that's gapped up that breaks VWAP near the open with a prior day VWAP below, short it. And then it shorted it at blue and just covered it at the orange. Meanwhile, I'm not even in the trade, but my algo's asking me why, because I chose not to. And that's kind of what we're inevitably trying to get to, where this thing's going to just flash either in the room or on rangefinder, and you'll get a little heads up because you had two shorts in the path, one short in Wolf loss, and then another. It was not a bad trade on PayX. See, I didn't even watch the PayX. PayX, motherfucker. See. Sorry, curse, but there you go. See? You see that? You had one job. And by the way, if you were working for me today and you didn't put this trade on, you're fired. And that's how it works. So yeah, did I mention it? No. But they reported earnings and it faux-show-bro and broke the VWAP at 121. Entry. Wow, the entry on somehow the algo got, oh no, the algo chased a little bit, 122. And it just sold at the high of the day. Nice. Wow. See that? That's why I need this thing. And that's why I need somebody to help me. Right? So we've been talking about this for weeks. Or, well, I've been talking about it for a decade now. But now that I've gone through all the delusional psychopaths and the condescending losers and delusional broke morons that still think they could trade in my account without proper authorization, I've had every nudnik and loser work for me. And now those are nice words. If I told you all 12 stories, you'd be crying. I don't have 2 weeks to talk about all the morons that have actually worked for me. And it's beyond moronic. It's psychotic, delusional. It's hard to explain. Here, don't do this. Oh, they immediately do it. Oh, but I just told you not to do that. Well, I figured. Oh, you figured. All right, you're fired. I mean, that's how some of these careers have come and gone. But what I'm looking to do, right, is now that I know the questions I need to ask on the interview, I'm going to interview you in front of the mob. So on a schmooze one night, you don't need to send your resume. Your resume needs to be order entry, right? You need to know at least 2 platforms. If I say, buy me 30 contracts under $1 and the contract is 85, you should know that you should be sending a limit order at 85 and get me my 30 contracts. If I say offer out 10 contracts, 115, raise stop to 95 on the rest, you should know what that means. If you don't apply. You need to know at least some of the vernacular and order entry. That's all I need. I will supply the ideas. I will supply the money and I will supply the ideas. You have to supply enough money, as we're going to call it, the moronic buffer zone, right? Or the delusional buffer zone. Because every schmuck, moron, psychopath that I've given a shot, except for Dave. Dave was just a little bit late getting into the trades, but Dave, to his credit, never put a trade in my account that wasn't one of our trades. He was just a little bit late on some of the entries, but I'll teach you that. I just never want you to place a trade in my account that is unauthorized, such as the story when a guy bought an IPO and then he calls me from his lunch break, apparently, because I had him working at another firm, logging into my account, hanging with a couple of buddies of mine. Yeah, I bought that IPO and then I went to lunch. I don't think I put a stop on, and you might be down 5 grand. I'm like, what? What IPO? What? And that was the end of his career. I mean, just don't do dumb shit. Or better yet, don't ever put any trades in my account unless you hear me telling you to put the trade in. Because you're what is known as a clerk. I need you to think. I'm the thinker, right? I'm the guy that's telling you to do the trades, which takes the responsibility of the win or loss away from you, which should be less stressful. The only stress you have is getting in and then managing the trade. The stress of it winning, which is mostly the stressful part of it, don't worry about it. If it's a losing trade, that's on me. It's my idea. But if you fuck up with your order entry, then it's on you. And then if you ever use the phrase, but I figured, you're fired. Don't figure. Either you know something or you don't. If you're unsure of what order that is, you say, Kenny, I'm not sure what you want me to do here. You don't put the trade on, then tell me you were unsure, as delusional psychopath number 9 was doing. Well, I wasn't sure about what to do, so I just put 8 trades in your account and they're all losers right now because it's your fault because you didn't tell me what to do. True story. Blaming me for the bad trades that she put in the account because I didn't tell her what to do. So you thought the next step with not knowing what to do is to place trades. And you want to blame me for that. And then she called me condescending, which was awesome. So that's why at this point now I know exactly what I need. I know exactly the questions I need to be asked. I know exactly the attitude I need. And we'll interview you in front of the mob Thursday night. Maybe not this Thursday, but maybe next Thursday. And then we will start testing you out. You come to the room, and then we start placing some trades in a paper trading account just to see if you can pay attention. And once I see you can pay attention and place trades, and then we go live. And then hopefully we could do this before earnings season starts, because even on a squadouche kind of day like today, by the way, squadouche, that's a technical term. Squadouche. 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 There's nothing going on. Squadouche. You know what I'm saying? Squadouche. See, but even on a squadouche kind of day like today, I'm watching the Qs. I'm watching SRAD, right? I'm watching my open. And I missed the one faux-show-bro earnings report trade that I should have been in. That'll be your job, right? So each morning, you'll have the earnings reports, right? Today was PayX, and really wasn't much to choose from today, but it was PayX. Okay, where'd it go? We had Path because it was in play. PayX. Oh, and VRAR. I didn't even look at it. Watch, it'll probably be a reversal. VRAR. Remember this one? Yeah, garbage. But there'll be days, right? And again, working for me, it's going to be the most unpleasant experience of your lifetime, right? Because when I look into my other account and I don't see PayX long, I'm going to yell at you and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And you're going to say, but I didn't hear you mention it. Oh, but didn't I? Didn't I mention it? Because if it reported earnings and you get the faux show VWAP bro, that's your trade, because you're only existing to do this trade. Earnings reports that fake you out, shake you out, and then break VWAP. I want to be involved at the VWAP, and I want you to place stops at the faux and the show levels. And every day it'll be the same trade because the trade works every time, right? So earnings reports. Sorry, let me just rephrase that. It works a lot. There will be a day where it doesn't work. and you'll buy the VWAP break, and it'll roll back over, break that, you'll have to sell, and then it'll break that, and you'll have to sell the rest. And you say, Kenny, but I thought these trades never fail. Well, this one did. But it's usually okay because it's a very small loss because we're buying at VWAP, which is usually a great price. And once again, and here's a dilemma here. I'll ask the room. When I say these trades have worked 1,100 now and 5 times in a row, you know that I'm not in every single one of those trades. But the ones that we've caught or the ones that we've talked about or the ones that we've mentioned, we haven't had a loss, right? That's not, and again, if you're thinking, hey, but this SRAD's not working out, this SRAD ain't one of those. This is just my bullshit stock getting slammed today. I felt like dollar cost averaging down here and hoping for the best. This ain't that trade. The trade that works every single time are these PayX trades and the CCL from yesterday. You know about the CCL from yesterday because you were here, right? Look at it today. What does Kenny teach you about earnings reports? You should watch them the next day because quite often they set up for new trades the next day because the activity from the earnings report carries over to the following day. Look at this beautiful thing. Fan-freaking-tastic today. Little faux-show-bro long for a win. Double top rollover. 1 minute multi-day VWAP break. Double test from underneath. How's your father? A little how's your father right there. And roll. That ain't squadouche right there. That's a pretty damn good trade. And this one, I wouldn't blame you if you weren't in, my faithful assistant. But the PayX, I'd be pissed. And you'll also notice that I'm always pissed, right? That's my demeanor during trading. We could get happy later on when we're having some cocktails and watching the Jets lose when we got $600 on the opposing team. Whatever the case may be, when you're in the arena, you come in with game face and focus and a skill and determination and a will to win and no fear because it doesn't even matter if the trades work. What? Yeah. It doesn't matter if they work as long as you're doing the proper procedure. Winning trades will find you. It's how to get through the losing trades. For instance, let's say you said, hey, I'm going to buy this path today. Oh, man, I heard you liked it this morning and you bought it, right? Well, once it broke that orange line, you can't be in it anymore. You're just disobeying the rules because you got the lows of the day are being broken and you're breaking prior day VWAP. There's no reason to be in this thing. Here, for instance, the QQQ short, right? I know it rolled over and went back down, but I was short over here. And when it broke the lows of the day, I looked at the 5-day VWAP. I'm like, well, chances are this is the low of the day and we're going to have to cover. I didn't want to, but I did some. And then I got stopped out here where I covered earlier and then the VWAP. So I let this go against me because that's my rule. I don't cover all at one price. I do some here. I do some here. And then here I had to admit my defeat. I'm not letting it break over VWAP. I'm not going to get faux-show-broed. And the bro wasn't really significant. But look, inevitably it was. And inevitably we're going back down. But that's what today's all about. Squadouche. We're trapped in a very tight range. So see how I'm bringing it all home right now? It's called the weave. You like that? I'm bringing it all home now. Even on the squadouche kind of days, or more importantly, on the squadouche days, when you're selling into moves and covering on the way down, that's the only way to survive. You follow? So those days where I'm usually pissed off by selling a $9 stock at 11 and then watch it go to 100, which is usually the case, on days like today, at least you're not mortified of how much more the stock has gone up after you sell. And it's kind of why it's not so bad to have a sideways chop session because that's kind of how I trade anyway. But if you're not navigating the chop correctly, you're just going to be on the wrong side of those moves. If you're playing momentum, you're getting killed. Momentum to the downside is met with an equal and greater move to the upside, which is then met with an equal and greater move to the downside. You're going to get your head chopped off. Oh, this SRAD's a banger, you piece of shit. I can't believe I got stopped out of the rest just now. What the? Wow. This stock actually. Oh, by the way, as my assistant, I want you to get the analyst that upgraded this last week, 2 weeks ago, on the phone. Get him on the phone. I got a bone to pick. Get him on the phone. Fucking upgrading bullshit. I knew it. You guys thought I was kidding. You don't want your stock getting upgraded. You want nobody to know about it until it goes 20x. Then you can upgrade it all you want. Upgrades are the worst. Thing got upgraded twice just to add to the misery. They upgraded at the highs. Next day it got smoked. We're laughing about it. And then they upgraded it here. And what's it done since? Thanks. Thanks for the upgrade. Keep your mouth shut next time. You know nothing anyway. Upgrades. That they went to, yeah. And one guy's probably, hey, man, I didn't get paid off. I wish I did. I just suck at this. Yeah, that's the other story. They just suck at this. Upgrading at highs. Wait for a couple of downgrades now. By the way, fuck this shit. I'm buying it all. I'm buying it back right here. Screw it. Seriously. Let's try it again. It's exactly, we got the dip to 26.75. I'm in. Let's go. Can't stop me. Boom. That's me on the bid. Done. 74, 75. By the way, this is some choppy ass bullshit today, right? But if you're navigating it by selling into moves and covering while stuffs are going down, then it's not so bad. And by the way, this is the market you get when the market's trying to go down. This is the market. This is as much as you're going to get on the downside, right? So this is it. The market gets choppy, almost saying to you, we're not going to go down. We're just going to chop around a little bit and inevitably going back up, right? And that's what this market is right now. It's just chopping enough people to convince another group of people to get short, to fuck them up again. That's right, SRAD. That's right. Now get back to 2707, you bastard. See if we could do this trade all over again. All right, cool. Nice start. We got to get 90 on the bid would be nice. But homies, it's days like today, right, where you got to understand there's not much activity. There's not much opportunity. You got to stick with to what, what pays you. You guys trade open already, right? I mean, how great is this stock? Short and long, right? I mean, this thing faux-show-bros almost every day, and then it also has blow-off tops. It is the greatest stock to trade right now. Big volume every day, liquid as can be, half number increments, weekly options. It's awesome. So yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. But I definitely want to get too hardcore hungry. Again, I don't mean to insult you, but I have this picture in my head of who I want, right? I want somebody that obviously knows order entry. Maybe you've been struggling with your trading. You need some guidance. You need some money. And I don't mind if you leave me. That's where I want you to be. I want to be able to train you, get you under my wing, help you make me money while I make you money, and then go say, Kenny, thank you for the opportunity. I'm going to go launch my other account, and I'm going to go do what you taught me, and we're all going to be. And then you leave the room, but you could leave I'll let you fly. So, and I also need somebody that doesn't mind. Yeah, that's right, SRAD. That's right. I don't mind if you I need you to stay at the desk predominantly all day. This is what you want to do. You want to be at the desk from 8 in the morning till 8 p.m. You think that's fun. That's the attitude you need. You're riveted by this, every tick. I don't want no lollygagging, think I'm doing this for a hobby bullshit. This is what you do. This is all you do. I want to be able to go play pickleball, and I want to get a phone call. Hey, boss, PayX just broke VWAP. I bought 2,000 shares. I'm up $6,000. I'm putting a stop on right now. The minimum we're going to make is 4 G's on this trade. Have a great game. Click. That's the phone call I want to hear and get. Not, I think I bought an IPO in your account, and I went to lunch. I don't think I put a stop on it. I guess I'm fired, right? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can I find 2 hardcore guys that I could chain to the desk, train you in the VWAPian ways, and then you will have an unusual set of skills like Liam Neeson, who just came out with another version of the Snowpiercer or that plow movie. I guess he's just going to kill a whole bunch of new snowplow guys. Anyway, Liam Neeson, what's that have to do with this conversation? I don't know. Oh, right. Unusual set of skills. Right. I will give you an unusual set of skills, and then we will crush the market every day. And then I will leave at 12 or 1, and you will stay chained to the desk, working the orders if they were given. Can you dig it? Well, you do not. Well, here's a great question. If we don't know how to do that stuff, should we not join the room, or do we learn how to do that? Well, if you're joining the room, order entry is kind of like I can't teach every platform. Basically, each platform is the same with a little differences. Obviously, what you're looking at right here, this is a combination of Thinkorswim and what we call Lightspeed. But the market maker boxes, they're basically universal, right? They even have them on Thinkorswim right here. And you could just click in the box, goes to order entry. But if you don't know order entry, you should. I mean, I could tell stories for days because I've been doing this my whole life. I used to run these Saturday classes, and the first hour, if not an hour and a half, used to be order entry and platform, just learning how to build the platform, watch list, level 2s, order entry, time and sales, setting up your scanners, until one guy sent a strongly worded email to me and the company that not only did we just waste his time, he's offended and mortified that we would spend an hour and a half talking about order entry at a class that was supposed to be about technical analysis. And he was pissed. He used a lot of bad words. And I was like, wow, okay. I guess we won't talk about market makers anymore and order entry. So that guy ruined it for everybody. I'll turn the car around right now. But yeah, we talk about order entry. You got to understand a little bit of market mechanics, right? But you got to understand some of the stuff. If an option contract here, for instance, let's just give any contract right now. So if I say, okay, NVTS, right? Get on the bid at 25 for 30 contracts. Get on the bid for 30 contracts. What does that mean? buy 30 contracts at the bid. So I want you to join the bid at 30. And then if I say go high bid, that means I want you to go, if it trades in penny increments, go high bid. So that means bid above the high, but below. Here you go. Somebody just did it. There you go. You're hired. There he is. There it is. So he just went high bid and he got done at 28. Thank you very much. That's what I'm talking about. Congratulations, you're hired. So if I say go high bid, that doesn't mean take the offer. Take the offer means take the offer. But when you got a nickel spread, sometimes there's pennies in between. So you go high bid 27 or 28, see if anybody sells it to you. So you get to capture some of that spread. Look at you trading, right? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? So then the idea was, okay, let's say you're in a trade. Then I will say, okay, we got some open long here on the faux-show-bro. Cool. 3,000, we're just pretending, right? So let's say we bought this little faux-show-bro right here. You're in the open. Get me into the open, 3,805. All right, you're in. Then you tell me you're in. You got 3,805, great. Offer out 1,815. Limit, stop limit, 2,000 at 799, 799, 797 limit. So that means you're going to put a limit, stop limit, right? So you're putting the limit, stop is at 8, limit 797, so they don't rob us. Bang. And by the way, this is actually an actionable trade right here on open long. Good job, guy. See that? You guys are already making money. Look at this. We're all going to be winners right now. SRAD's working out. There's open trades working out. And this is where this is where the communication. So you're in the room, right? Right. So then if you sell 1,000 shares at 815, you say 1,000 out, 815. All right. Now I know. All right, cool. Raise stop on the last 2,000 to 805, offer out 825 on another 1,000. So what's that mean? It means you got a 2,000 share stop at 805, break even. Now we can't lose. I want you to offer out another 1,000 at 825. Boom, your order's out there, 825, you now raise your stop. Now you're done until something happens. Now we can move on if something else goes by and I want to get involved. No, it's all verbal. That's what, the only typing that needs to be done is when you type back to me in the room that things have been executed, or get on the mic, get on the mic, get on the mic, get on the mic, Mike. Communication is paramount because that has been the one thing that we've lacked. And considering we have an open platform where everybody could get on mic if we wanted, I just need 2 hardcore guys. Because soon, I mean, like I said, even on this squadouche kind of day, I've missed 2 trades and I've had 4 winning trades. It's been a right kind of day. And again, this is the 5th winning trade here. Now, if you haven't realized, I just bought the open. Come on. I'm not going to beg you to buy something when you're faux-show-bro and to break VWAP on our favorite stock. And here's a perfect example. If you're in from 809, you're selling some right here because that's scalping, especially on a squadouche, scalpy kind of day. You take the money. Sold to you. There you go. Just sold 1,000. Now you're looking for the 826. Just like I said. Now, clerk, raise your stop to break even, which is now 810. Offer out 826. There you go. See how much fun this could be? Well, I didn't hear you mention it. Ooh, I didn't hear you mention it. I didn't hear you mention it. How's your track record, Kenny? I didn't hear you mention that. So let me get this straight. We want to buy stocks that report earnings that break VWAP? Yes. There you go. You got, and listen, everybody gets to fuck up once. My mom hung me on a hook once. And if you don't know what movie that is, don't apply for the job. All right? That's another qualification. You need to know every obscure movie quote that I give. And you better be ready because I'm going to ask you. My mom hung me on a hook once. Come on. Come on, you know it. They're gonna murder Johnny's Johnny's brother at the Savoy Theater tonight. Come on, nobody? Jeez. Fine. I'll just take my story somewhere else. Really? Nobody knows that one? Jeez. Can you dig it? All right. So what do you want to do? That's right, Johnny Dangerously. Let's go. All right, hang on. I got to go off mic for a second. I might run this for a little bit longer. I don't know if I can. Actually, I probably can't. Hold on a second. There it is. There's that feedback I was looking for. That's why I'm trying to do three things at once. Hang on a second. Before we go any further, right? You see how this open trade just found us? This is the magic that we possess, right? Trades find you. It's not a difficult thing, right? That's why the scanner that's spitting out winners, if it existed, I'd own it. Doesn't exist. There is no scanner that scans the entire market for stocks that are about to explode. Doesn't exist. I'd have it. All right. But what does exist is learning about VWAP and understanding market mechanics and understanding a fake out, shake out, VWAP break, where you have a low risk trade where you can risk 4 cents and make yourself the 25. That's day trading. And sometimes that's all you're going to get. So when you got blue line or orange line and you buy yourself 3,000 shares, my clerk sold 1,000 right here, just sold another 1,000. And now we got 1,000 shares left. And now, clerk, I want you to put your stop at break, not a break even on the last 1,000. Now you place your stop at the pivot point of the mid area right there where it broke from. So if you're in from here, you've sold some here, you've sold some here. Now you sell the rest here, but your target now remains the double, triple top from earlier because now we could dream big because we're in at a great price. And that's trading. All right, let's go. Roll it. Roll it, Ryan. I can't hear you because I'll get that feedback. I'm going to see if I can fix that. Hold on. See if I can hear you over here. Oh, because I got the two things running. Yeah, that's why. That's why I don't do it. Just run it. I think you might need me to put my thing back on, right? Who's that guy? By the way, how about that SRAD home slices? Huh? We got SRAD and we got open. We're sitting here goofing around on a squadouche kind of day, but we just found two winners, right? Now look, I just sold a couple of hundred shares at 26.96 because I can take the money. Right? That's what trading is all about. We're in a squadushi kind of a moment right here. Quick hits is what it's all about. I'll be right back. You see that? That's how it works, right? That's the beauty of hanging with me and Masala Jello guy over there. You give us a chart, we can trade anything we want. We do. We do anything we want. Say, you want to do, want to live. How you want to live? Do what we want to do. Good afternoon and welcome back to my world. It's me, it's Ryan, and this cup of coffee. Good to see you. So, I hope from the last time we spent some time together, you did take some time to Google me. My name is Kenny Glick. I've been trading for 30 years. And I will go ahead and say 2025 is by far, there isn't a comparison. This is the greatest year of trading in the history of trading. You might have had better years, and I've certainly had better years due to circumstances. But the wonderful opportunity that the market bestows us each day has never been so abundant as it is in 2025 for longs and for shorts. Even though it's been a very difficult market to short in, we have picked our spots and have done extremely well. And if you are out there and you've made it this far, as far as trading, congrats. There's not many people out there that have been doing this as long as I have. And at this point, they're starting to call me the grandfather of day trading. I'm kind of insulted, but I do have gray in the beard and I am bald. So, and my kids are of my son, he's 23. So, you know, I might be a grandpappy sooner or later anyway, right? But the reason they call me that is that I have lived many lives. And a lot of what we do today, I invented, and especially the trade that we continuously take. And maybe this is the first time you're seeing me. So stare deep into my eyes. You ready? I have a trade that we've been tracking for over 10 years, and the win rate has been enormous. Over the last 3 years, we've had 1,104 of them show up. It's a very specific setup. And over the last 3 years, 1,104 of those trades have provided profitable trades. And today was 1,105 in a row, not one loss. And I'm not saying that we haven't had losing trades. I'm saying this specific setup, when it shows up, and today there's only one, and you guessed it, it worked, and it was PayX. That's right. Check it out. So what we have done, and this is the reason this is special. Let me get the screen up for you. All right. I should be below. And if you want to put me on the side, I think you could alter it wherever you want. But now, as long as you can hear my voice, it's not about my face now that you've gazed deep into my eyes. But actually, before we go on, I want you to gaze into my eyes one more time. Ryan, if you can, close up. You ready? If you haven't embraced VWAP yet, I want you to close your eyes and just dream of profits and being a consistently good trader. And now, here's your mantra. Breathe in the VWAP and breathe out the Goldman Sachs. Breathe in the VWAP and breathe out the doubt. Breathe in the VWAP and breathe out my refrigerator beeping in the other room. I guess I left the fridge open. All right. So we taking the rest of this day serious? What's going on? Let me just talk to my corporate overlord, see if we're going to run this thing. All right. All right. Everything's still up and running. Internet, you got me. Ryan's got me. Everybody's got me. So my friends over at StockTwits, if you don't know, I'm not joking. I've been doing this since inception. And if you really like to get to know me a little bit better, email me. We're probably going to get together Thursday night for what we call the schmooze. I need to do it because I'm leaving on Friday. And normally when I leave and I go to Georgia, something bad happens in the market. So I'm going to show you a couple of things to prepare for that in case it does happen. But Thursday nights, we gather, we talk about options, usually a lot about weekly options, earnings reports, market environment. We have a couple of guests, we play some music. And that's a good chance to get to know us, on a daily basis, get to know what I do every day. I do 4 hours of live commentary on a daily basis, trying to find ideas live. Right now, we were in the process. Well, we bought some SRAD just a little while ago off these lows. Not my favorite trade. I just got down to some support levels that I like the stock. That was dollar cost averaging. But mostly what we do is just blue line and orange line trades. So this trade right here is our bread and butter. So earlier, what a faux-show-bro is, it's a fake out, a shakeout, and a breakout. That's where the faux and the show come from. Fake out is the FO, show, shakeout, and then the breakout. And if you haven't noticed, and I'm sure you have, or you've been a victim to it, because stocks will break a new low, you get out, and oh man, then the stock started going up without me. Yes, because that's how it's built. The system is built to get the last seller out at the worst price, then the reversal happens. That's why we've been calling it the faux-show-bro since 1997. It's not a new trade, but what is new is VWAP to me. I've only been using VWAP exclusively since 2012, really since 2015, because my feeble mind didn't appreciate how important it was. For a good 2 years. I was loosely using it. Now it's all I use. So the trade that I used to make money on was a reversal trade, the faux-show-bro reversal. So they would fake you out, they would shake you out, and then the stock would break the 930 high of the day, and we would be buying it on the momentum burst, that faking out and shaking out and then breaking out. But we would buy the breakout of the 930 high candle. Now, on the trade that's been working pretty much since 97, now I trade exclusively around VWAP. So if there's a faux show underneath VWAP, I buy the VWAP break. I don't wait till it breaks the 930 high candle. So you got fake out, shake out, VWAP break. We're buyers. It didn't really do too much, but 794 got us 808, a little payday, wound up going down, wound up getting out flat on the rest. But then faux, show, back above VWAP, bought it again, same price, 795, and you're using the faux and the shows as your out. In this case, then we got a little bit more of a bro. And that's a wonderful trade because if you're buying $8 stocks as a typical day trader, what are you talking? Maybe a couple thousand shares to start, right? Maybe 3 or 4,000. You buy yourself 3 or 4,000. You sell your first 1,000 right there for about $180. Sell the other one for another 250. Now you got 400 bucks. Starts to rally, starts to roll, wind up selling at 825, and you got yourself a $500 or $600 trade on top of the other 250, just on the same name, right? And then just now, that trade just showed up. We love ourselves some open, don't we? Who doesn't? I trade the stock every day, and I've been trading the stock every day for almost 6 months. Before it got exciting, we were on this name when it came out of the pennies, at about $1. And I've been hip to it ever since, and I've been trading it every day. It's fantastic, short and long. But today, we just took advantage of it because it usually gets bought on dips. So faux-show-bro. And if you missed all those wonderful faux-show-bros earlier, here it is again. See how it held the VWAP, then it rolled. That's the fake out. That's the shakeout. So then it got back above the VWAP. I'm a buyer here at 810. And I'm only using the faux in the shows. So I'm buying it here. Sorry, it was 813. I bought it 813. And I'm using the faux 809. And I'm using the show 805, 806 as my outs. If I'm wrong, I'm going to sell the first 1,000 there, the second 1,000 there. But we weren't wrong. Sold the first 1,000 there, a little premature. Sold another some at 825. And then we got to the prior day VWAP. Was hoping to see a lot more, but now we're rolling over, and the stop that we have left is that pivot point in the middle. But, a lot of what this trade did, and again, this is how I trade all the time. And on days where we're going sideways, my style of trading is the only style. My style of trading you're going to be frustrated with on the super bullish days because I sell into the moves. And then what happens is the stock keeps going and going, and inevitably you don't have any, and you're all pissed off, and you're like, why did I just sell this at 812? I should have held on. And the shouldas will kill you because you always think you would be doing something differently because the stock did something. That's how we work, our brains. But try to be honest with yourself. And if you stick to my rules and the way I trade, you'll always be locking into profits when there's profits to be locked into, because we're always selling into the move, assuming it's going to roll over and die. We trade to make money. So if you're in and you're making some money, you sell some. And yeah, sure. The other day when I sold FOFO and watched it go up 38 points after I sold, wasn't very fun. I will admit. Selling it at 27, 28 bucks and watching it rip 18 points after I got out, it's pretty sickening. But at the same time, you got to remember all the times where you sold a stock and it actually went down after you sold out of it. Point is, if you follow the rules all the time, inevitably you're going to come out ahead. And if you only take a trade that works so well, like the KMX today, KMX was yesterday. I'll show you that one too. I remember KMX. That was way back yesterday. Or was that 2 days ago? I'm starting to forget now which day is which. No, CCL was yesterday. KMX was on Friday. What happened? So here, PayX. And you see why it's still a long, right? Because the way we trade, let's say you got your faux, you got your show, you're getting your bro. On the broing, as it's broing, you got $122 stock. Our default for $122 stock is you should make 2.5 points minimum on the trade. That's your goal. 225.50 gets you 225. Sorry, 125. We haven't got 125 yet, so it's been a slow grind. But the trader that bought this properly, there's the fake out, there's the shakeout, there's the VWAP break. The trader that bought this at 21.50 has already sold some at 22.50. The trader that bought this just got back to the highs of the day. They're selling some here because we do things where stocks, look what happened here before. Look what happened here. You're at that price again. So now you're selling it. And now you should say, but Kenny, the orange line is up there. Right. That's why you don't sell it all at one price, because you're expecting it to get to the orange line. And it's easy for you to hold now because you've sold some here and here. And now that last pullback area, look at that, right smack dab in the middle. That would be your stop. So now to stay a profitable trader, you raise your stop. You're hoping for more and expect more, right? Because most of the time we do get to the orange line. Today's VWAP usually reversion back to prior day VWAP once you have some momentum in that direction. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. You're at a very specific spot right now, high of the day from the 930 candle. That's why you're a seller of some more here if you haven't sold yet. But you're really expecting it to go here now, right? So now you just raise your stop to that last pullback area, and that's how you do it. So what you're witnessing right now is what I do on a daily basis. We just walk you through the trades. I'm not in all the trades, and sometimes you don't want me to be in the trade. Because once I get into a trade, first of all, I do a lot less talking. And also, I might have a bad day that day, and maybe the ones that I do stink. That's why we take them all. If there's an earnings reversal, I don't care what stock it is, like CCL. I don't know if you trade CCL yesterday, phenomenal short. You went back to it today, phenomenal short. 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal, 1 minute multi-day VWAP collision. That's telling you right there that the sellers are in control. Another nice short opportunity. So as we go through the day's events, as we go through these trades on a daily basis, what I try to do is provide you with the good idea, but also give you the education of why it's a good idea, and when it's not, or when a good idea turns bad, how to navigate that, which is the most important part, how to address loss. And with every trade that we put on, your entry points are usually so good that when the trade doesn't work, it's a very small loss. So if you're always taking risk trades, or your risk reward is always in your favor, what does it come down to? It comes down to you. And in that moment, you have to make that final decision. Hey, I'm supposed to be selling this stock because it's breaking that level. But if you say to yourself, let's see what happens, you've already broken the law. There's rules. The yellow line in certain circumstances is, well, it's always prior day VWAP. In certain circumstances, depending on where the stock has been over the last couple of days, you'll have it above the blue line. In certain circumstances, if the stock has been trading lower and we are making new highs, quite often the prior day VWAP will be below. And in those circumstances, you trade exactly the same. You're just, the blue line's below orange. If you get momentum, orange becomes the target, and then hopefully new support. In the cases where the orange line's below today's blue VWAP, if you get a breakdown and you're shorter, you're looking to cover at prior day VWAP. And also, if you get down to the prior day VWAP and the holds, that's where you could form new long positions. So we're fluid. This is an active trading environment, and VWAP is the only thing you need to navigate the chop. And, you know, that's why I don't mind days like today where we're going sideways, because that's my style anyway. But here, let's take a look at one that's still in trend, NVIDIA, right? So you got the fake out, shake out. There's your VWAP break, right? And then here's that circumstance. So it broke today's VWAP, but it came right back to prior day VWAP, and nobody was selling. Fake out, shake out, VWAP break, 182.50 got you 185. Phenomenal. And now this trade, let's say you're in from that level. When VWAP is this far away from where you're at, then you just go back to pivot points. And everything I'm demonstrating with pivot points and VWAP and all this is what I do for 4 straight hours a day, every day. And from this, you will learn from osmosis. And as I continue to show you, There's only 4 things a stock can do: dip and rip, rip and roll, chop goes sideways, bullish, chop goes sideways, bearish. There's not much there's not much more a stock can do, right? And we just trade all of those setups when they're around VWAP. And that's why this PayX, right, is still a long trade, because we know as VWAPians what we're accustomed to seeing, right? It's trend trading, right? That's what this whole thing's about. What normally happens, take that trade. What normally happens in this situation? After a faux-show-bro VWAP break that breaks the high of the day with multi-day VWAP nearby, what normally happens? Normally we get there. So the long trader who's still in there is got no reason to sell, because the long trader has to see if what normally happens happens. So the risk is here. You just broke the highs and you got to wait. So let's go back to this open trade, which is still open as well. Aha! You see what I did there? Why is it still an open trade? Because it never broke down. You see? So the rookie trader or the novice or the lay person or the uneducated, right? Oh my God, it's going down. I better sell all I got. Blah, 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 blah. No, that's panicking, baby. You ain't panicking. You know it pivoted from that price right there. That's 818. So until that pullback breaks 818, all this is a pullback to get the other people out, not you. You stuck around. And now that you stuck around, you got paid an extra $140 on that last 1,000 shares because you didn't panic and you had a specific spot. Now, if you haven't sold any, sell, keep the rest, keep your stop here. Or now sometimes what I like to do is I'll raise it up a couple of pennies now that it's tried to sell off. Now I'll use the 820. It's 2 cents. It really is insignificant. It's $10 on the last 500 shares. It's not that big of a deal. But that moment right there, that's what I'm trying to teach. It's not about moving averages. You have the moving average that means anything. There is only one moving average that means anything in an algorithmic world that we trade in now. That is volume weighted average price. It's the only thing that matters. Then it's price. So when you've got the VWAP and the prior day VWAP, that's your guide. And then you're back to now trading price. So now, what do I mean by trading price? Specific prices where things happen. 818 is your out. Target 841. Breaks 841, you're looking for 850. Why? Because that's what happens. Stocks that get through 841, 9 out of 10 times you'll be looking at the next half number. Breaks the half, you're thinking 875. And then 9. See if we get there. How did I just text myself? What is this? That's weird. Well, do you know the answer? No, somebody knew the answer. It was Johnny Dangerously. Thank you. Thank you. You win the prize. $10 gift card. So, yeah, I mean, that's where we're at right now. And if you don't know, like I said, I've been doing this for my whole life. And it's taken me quite some time, and I've had my ups and downs. Not only have I've had more downs than ups, which is sad, but it's true. For all the glorious wins I've had much more heartbreaking, awful losses, grinded myself out of my own career. You know, that's why now I'm a different person, literally. And you're not going to debate with me whether or not VWAP works or not, because VWAP literally saved my career and my life, especially as a shorter, because stocks don't stay down when they break back over the VWAP. And don't take my word for it. Take my word for it. What? Just take my word for it. And that in that moment of enlightenment, I was like, hey, I got an idea. So maybe I should start covering my dumb short ideas and go long simultaneously. And then I was like, hey, how about I just don't short and wait for the turn? Oh, even better. And that's where we're at. And now I just love trading around earnings reports because that's where there's more volume, and more volume, more better. All right. So, all right. So I'm going to sign off for you guys. I know other people got things to do. I'll be hanging out on Stock Twits for another half an hour. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time. We'll be doing a couple of broadcasts October 7th, October 9th. Please sign up to my October 9th event if you haven't already. Wait, I see a question. You always look at the nearest pivot on the 1 minute for stop after the bro. Three pivots. That's what keeps you in the trade. So usually it's a faux, a show, and then sometimes if there's another, like the official low of the day nearby, again, it's minimum of two. I love three because three usually keeps you in the trade. You know, for instance, I don't know, let's just give me a random symbol. Give me a random symbol. It doesn't have to be random. Well, let's talk about mob because I finally shorted this thing today. I don't know if anybody shorted it, right? All right. So in this case, right, I'm dying to short this stock. Why? Because I sold it and I'm pissed. And I do think it was a good short, obviously, right? So this was my drone stock. I got you guys in, right, under 250. Sold some at 375, sold some at 5, sold some at 666, sold some at 750. By 750, I was pretty much done with the trade. And then it went to 10, like a good stock should. 750 gets you 10. So I was looking for a blow off top near 10. It broke through 10. But then today, prior day VWAP acts as resistance, confirming my belief. And this is how I trade. I don't trade what I think because I'm a moron and I think a lot of dumb things. So when I have a thought, I then say, okay, now, mighty VWAP, can you tell me if I'm right or wrong? And the mighty VWAP said, hey, buddy, you might be onto something because yesterday's VWAP is acting as resistance. And if you break today's VWAP, that's where you have to short it using yesterday's VWAP as your out in case you're wrong. Then also validating my dumb idea to short this stock, and you get paid. And that, my friends, is trading. Have an idea, have an inkling, have a thesis, whatever that notion is. Don't put the trade on until the VWAP tells you that you're right or wrong. And then if you do put the trade on and VWAP tells you that you're wrong afterwards, listen to the VWAP. This ain't me. What I try to teach you is to break yourself down, get through that ego, and accept the VWAP for the only thing that matters. And it's true. Because it's the only thing left. It's the only truth left. VWAP doesn't lie. That's why I love sitting in this trading room all day. Because I'm insulated from AI feeding me stories about how New York's on fire and that I should be afraid every day of my life. You go on Twitter for 5 minutes, I'm fighting with, a million people, anonymous morons, and just hate and awfulness. Here, it's all us. We're in control. We understand. It's just math. Ebb and flow and reversions and pressing a few buttons, making some money, hanging out with like-minded individuals, being appreciative of what we have an opportunity to do on a daily basis, and just embrace the love instead of the hate. Because, man, we've lost our way. If we would just take a step back instead of pointing fingers and getting mad, just peace, love, and understanding. And the word that we've completely lost is compromise. Nobody's going to get everything that they want. And if you really want a pleasant society to live in, you have to understand that you have to sacrifice something and the other side has to sacrifice something. If we all sacrifice a little bit to get a little bit of what works for the rest of us, that's called compromise. And that'll save us. And it would be nice if we had leaders that talked about peace, love, and understanding and compromise instead of death and hate and pointing the fingers and blame. My name's Kenny Glick. I'll be running for president in 2028 under the Anarchy Party. And my slogan is, don't be a dick, vote Glick. I would be the greatest president. I am neither a liberal or Democrat, a MAGA. I'm actually, if anything, a Reaganite Republican leaning towards anarchy and communism. What? Yeah, what? Communism ain't so bad. I actually have my own philosophy. It's called social communarchyism, but can't get into it right now. I wrote a book. Social communarchyism. You want to know more about it? Sure, I'll tell you about social communarchyism. Socialism, communism, monarchy, capitalism, all rolled up into one. Social communarchyism. If you take the purest form of all of those ideologies, they all work. But corruption is what ruins them. So if you have a fair and just monarch, as I would be, the monarch, social communarchyism, you got the purest blend of socialism, communism, the monarchy. You have to put your faith in me. And of course, our slogan would be, it's my way or the highway. And capitalism, of course. Social communarchyism. Be a part of it. It's going to be fantastic. 2028. Don't be a dick. Vote Glick. All right. All right. I think I got booted anyway. So I'll see some of you guys Thursday night, or I'll see most of you guys tomorrow at 1. Some of you guys in the room, some of you guys on YouTube. Stock Twits will keep going for another half an hour. We'll see if we can find something to do while we're sitting here. Y'all have a great day. Oh, I think I've been booted anyway. So let me just make sure something's going on here. All right. Namaste.